surprised we got this far. You may be unsure if we can make it any further, but I'm here to tell you we can. When I was in 8th grade, my life changed. It was spring break and I'd just been admitted to the hospital because of swelling in my legs. In that week, I discovered I had a kidney condition called FSGS, which meant that my immune system was causing scarring to my kidneys. I would from then on have to go on immunosuppressant drugs. Taking them daily, possibly for the rest of my life. I was one of the lucky ones. The doctors had caught it at an early stage, and my kidneys were largely unharmed, especially relative to most other children with the disease. Nevertheless, the drugs I would be taking had side effects. Little to no immune response, nausea, weight gain, stunted growth, all manner of unpleasant things. Flash forward a few years. I'm in high school and my attendance has been atrocious. At first, this was because the immunosuppressants caused me to get sick frequently, but soon I began taking advantage of it. My motivation dwindled, and I stopped caring about my academic performance. A's and B's became C's and D's. In senior year, I was absent so much that I didn't have enough credits to graduate. So I decided to repeat my senior year. This, I thought, would be the year I turned my life around. I was wrong. I cared even less than the previous year about my performance, and late in the year suffered an allergic reaction to one of the new drugs we have been trying to treat my condition. Naturally, I earned next to no credits. Success now seemed like a distant vision rather than a reality. The first time in my life, I truly began doubting myself and my future. Thinking about the future frightened me, and so I pushed it to the back of my mind. I knew full well that at this rate I would be jobless, futureless, and a failure. I knew that all my work would have been for nothing, and it frightened me so much that I refused to face it for the longest time. I was depressed, and the shadow of doubt and failure loomed heavily over my thoughts. And then one day, it clicked in my mind. I had known since the beginning that apathy wasn't going to solve anything, and finally I acknowledged it as the truth. The only way I would get out of this hole I dug myself into was to climb out myself. So I resolved to take my life back into my own hands. I began seeing a therapist and thinking proactively. This did not happen overnight, however, as nothing ever does. Coming out of depression takes time, and resolving your doubts and fears takes action. But over the following year, I began the process of overcoming them. It was 2011 and I would be turning 19 in the fall. I now had a choice. I could test out for my GED, or I could attend night classes to earn the 25 or so credits I needed to graduate. I decided to graduate for the sake of having it on my resume. At this time, in the back of my mind, I still wondered if this would be a repeat of the last 2 years. When I attended my first night class, I entered the room and spoke to the teacher. She told me what the requirements were, handed me a syllabus and a textbook, and told me I could work at my own pace. Suddenly, I was no longer being told what to do. I had a choice of whether I work or not, how much work I get done in a night, or if I even showed up. I now had a choice between whether I would succeed or fail, and when the decision was put in my hands, I decided I wanted to succeed. So I worked, fast. I spent every moment in class doing work, and before I knew it, half a year had passed, and I'd earned all the credits I needed to graduate. Finally, I had achieved my goal. The freedom to work at my own pace had given me the motivation I needed to get done what needed to be done, and for the first time in years, I tasted success. My journey is not yet over, and neither is yours. Ahead lies college, job training, a career, and a future. But you, I, and we all have made a step in the right direction. A step away from dependence, from being futureless, from being failures. We have succeeded, and we will continue to do so. Regardless of what you want to do in the future, you can achieve it. And this is the first step. Keep walking.